Hey, I wanted to share with you some thoughts about confidential settlements. There's two reasons why our firm has never agreed to a confidential settlement. Number one, if you agree to a confidential settlement, a portion of a settlement in a personal injury case or death case can be subject to income taxes. And in my opinion, that is legal malpractice to subject any of your clients to income taxes on a personal injury case that ordinarily would never be subject to taxes, period. But secondly, and I would say equally important, if not more important, is that when you agree to a confidential settlement, you're doing nothing to improve the standards of care or the quality of care for other patients. And I'll explain in the very first meeting with one of our clients that number one, I will never agree to a confidential settlement. And if that's something that they want, they have to find somebody else. This is on our business cards. This is on our framed photos in our conference room, in our lobby. It's everywhere. Everyone knows that I will never agree to a confidential settlement. So just in the last 3 or 4 weeks, we've had three settlements. On each case, the defendants had a release agreement that contained, we put on the record that there's no confidentiality. We have not agreed to it, period. And then we got release agreements on one of the cases from a defense attorney that had a statement that this settlement is and shall always remain confidential and private. And any violation of this confidentiality will result in all kinds of penalties and rescind the agreement. I said, I never agreed to that, nor would I ever agree to it. I send it back. They try to tweak the words a little bit on the agreement. It's still a confidentiality. I said, I'm not agreeing to that. And finally, they said to me, well, what exactly do you need? I said, what I agreed to that was on the record, take the transcript, copy it word for word. That is what I agreed to. So finally, after a lot of haggling, 3 weeks, they finally just took it word for word, put it in the release agreement, and we're fine. This is what life is like. I tell people the battle begins after you settle your case, not before. But the value of having this is when you go to see clients and you explain to them that their case is not just about compensating them, but improving the quality of care for other patients in the future. They look at you and like, wow, I've never heard that before. That is really cool because I embrace the same value that you have. And when there's an alignment of values between your firm and the client, that number one, that strengthens the relationship, and it makes it so that you know that even if you mess up part of the case, the clients are behind you, they support your values, and they're with you all the way. I have written about this topic, and I think that a lot of the things that you see in the media today with Harvey Weinstein and other people, sexual predators, the reason why they're coming to criminal court now, maybe 20, 30, or 40 years after all of these horrible crimes, is because whenever they did something horrible, they would have the person agree to a confidential settlement, and then no one would know about it. Confidential settlements are just plain bad. In my opinion, they should be illegal. And you as a lawyer should never agree to a confidential settlement. And I'll tell you, whenever I mention this to another attorney, they say, you've got to agree to confidential settlements or none of our cases would settle. That is total BS. I can tell you that confidentiality has never gotten in the way of a settlement for me. And most of the defense attorneys, although not recently, they stopped asking for confidentiality because they know that I never agreed to it. And if you try this just one time, that is a challenge for you. One time, insist, no confidentiality. And you will see that the defense attorney will back down because they want to settle the case more than you do. Try it just once. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel and share it with any friends or lawyers that you think might find it interesting. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye-bye.